All right. Let's do it.
One of the questions I asked Coach, and he wasn't here last year, but you were, so many of these guys were first-year starters last year. What does going through the experience with some of the close losses do for them going into this year?
I mean, it's everything. It's you know, it's what you want. You get experience. I mean, you get game experience. You can build on things. You know, going into last year, there's certain things you can't do as a coach. You can't put on those guys, right? I mean, you can't throw everything at them without the experience that they need to do certain things. So we built upon that now in the off season and throughout this camp, and kind of they're able to handle more, do more. They have experience, you know, doing things, and the losses that could be healthy if you use it the right way, right? I mean, they have that feeling and that they never want to feel again. So you know, they know what it also takes to win and how hard it is to win.
We heard Josh Ross is working at both Will and Mike. Where do you kind of see his future at between those two spots? Do you have like a preference for him?
You know what? That's more Coach Brown and Coach Washington. I don't coach that position anymore, so I don't really want to comment on that. Josh is an awesome kid, great player, runs around, he's physical. So you know, I think he's had a bright future in football, but not really specifically to that position. You know, I'm not coaching them. So.
How has Brad Hawkins progressed in the last year?
Incredible, yeah. What a camp he's had. He's really stepped up and done some things and kind of defeated it. You know, he's gone above expectations for me. You know, I think he's another guy that has a bright future, that loves playing the game and is really in tune, and you know, he's been good, and you'll see him on the field for sure.
Does it help a lot, obviously, that he was with you last year as a Viper and being able to come back to safeties, having that kind of consistency in coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, I really know him and know what, you know, buttons to push for him and things like that, and know what he needs and doesn't need. So I think so. For me, it's better, and I think he'd probably admit that continuity is helping him in it. He's a great kid, and you know, really just wants to be great, and you know, so he's been really good on special teams too.
Chris, I know Nordine talked about in the spring about how he was working on, if he missed one, the next one had to go in. That was kind of his mental. What's that process been like this in camp? Has he kept that up? Or?
Yeah, just a maturity thing. We've been, you know, Quinn's just growing up as a person, as a leader on this team. It's been really good to see, and that's really what it is. It's just how being able to handle that and understanding how to adjust when things happen and he missed. I mean, he was just a redshirt freshman last year, so his maturity and his leadership has really, you know, taken a step up this year, and I think that's going to relate to, you know, him on the field as well. But the important thing for a kicker is, you know, you're not going to always be perfect throughout your whole career. When you miss and when you have a falter or something happens, how do you fix it? What happened? Do you realize what happened, and how do you rebound from it and not let it get in your own head? And you know, Quinn's maturity will help with that.
How do you see that maturity? How is it manifesting with him?
I mean, I just see it in the conversations I have with him, you know, and with the way he's around the other specialists. You know, we brought in a kind of a new group of specialists here this year, and you know, just how he's handling that and how he's handling the team during special teams periods, how he's working every day, and you know, how he shows up here early, on time, ready to go, you know, and how he's scheduled himself out throughout this camp. It's just been incredible. It's been good to watch.
What's the longest he's hit in practice in camp?
I mean, he's hit some now. I mean, I'm trying to think of live work. I mean, he's gone from 55-ish, I think, just on his own. He's, you know, like, I bet you he's hit a 62, 63-yarder, you know, out there. Snapper, holder, kicker type, you know, situation.
With a guy like that, the hard part's got to be out of the way, though, because he can do what you just said, 50 yards, he can do those things. Is the mental part the hard part, or is he already has a physical part, I guess?
Yeah, the mental part, for sure.
For
For any specialist like that, for a kicker, the mental part's the hard part. You know, we hope that we've recruited the guys that have the physical ability, the leg strength, and, you know, obviously you can just get them better and more physical and more flexible, but the mental part is where, you know, you got to really work on, because when you're kicking a 60-yarder, you don't necessarily need to hit it harder, right? You just got to hit it right, you know, and guys tend mentally try to overswing and stuff like that, so I think the mental is everything there.
How do you feel about your situation with your punters right now?
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, those guys are working. They're better. They're, it's a good situation. We've added to that room, which is awesome. You know, so I just think we have some things in place, and those guys have improved greatly. And that's something we had to improve on from last year for sure.
Do you have a number one punter at this point?
Nope, not at all. We have we have three guys that I feel good about that they're punting really well right now.
What was your impression of DJ Drukin when you coached alongside him here?
You know, DJ is an intense guy. He's a good coach. He's a good ball coach. He was always really good to me. You know, when he had gone to Maryland, he offered me and asked me to go, you know, come along with him. You know, he's an intense football coach. It's a good guy. That's kind of my interactions with him.
Jabril described his coaching style as bully coaching when he was here. Did you ever feel like he may have crossed the line at times?
Not that I saw. Now, remember, I was off the field that year, so, I mean, I wasn't in all those meetings, and, you know, when I was able to be in meetings, I actually sat in the safety meetings with Greg Jackson then, so, and with John Baxter with special teams, so I wasn't privy to everything that maybe Jabril had seen, or been around, so, but in my experience, no, I didn't see him cross the line at all.
Have you talked to him recently?
I have not. No, I have not.
Has anyone emerged on kick returns?
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of guys back there working. You know, I think Ambry's been really good, and that year experience will be good for him. You know, we've got some other guys. David Long works back there. Lavert Hill works back there. Donovan works back there. Two young guys, Michael Barrett and Ronnie Bell, are catch the ball well and it can explode. Brad Hawkins is obviously back there. So yeah, we have a good group of stable guys. We haven't picked a starter yet, or two starters yet, but we'll get to that at some point in the coming week.
Do you anticipate Donovan returning punts again?
Yeah, again, we've got some guys working that have been pretty good. You know, Donovan's way better and more natural than he was last year, so it's been good. But again, we haven't picked a starter yet, and we got a bunch of guys working back there as well.
Last year, you said that they were really close to being able to break out. How much closer, and what have you seen from them in that regard?
Well, it's just the experience is incredible. We were able to do more. We're able to put more on their plate. You know, they get it. You know, they get their bodies into better positions and things like that. So we're very excited about the ability and the potential of our special teams unit as a whole in every phase.
How have you seen Casey Hughes adjusting to new school, new system,
Yeah,
terminology, all that?
Of course. I mean, that's a challenge, right? So he came in. He wasn't in spring ball. He came in. He started with me in the safety room and did a heck of a job trying to learn the defense. And we've recently flipped him over to the corner room with Coach Zordich. So and he's picking it up. He's going now. You know, I think the first week was probably like, you know, wow, it's a lot. You know, because he's coming from corner to safety in a new environment. But he's a guy that you'll see out there, you know, contributing in various areas, special teams and things too.
Is he going to work at both spots, or is he working at full-time corner now?
He's going to work at corner and nickel. Yeah.
In what specific ways do you want these safeties to be better, to take a step forward from last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want them to be more physical. You know, I want them to be more physical players, and I want them to be completely all around the ball on every play. Wherever that ball is, I want them there. You know, if it's thrown up in the air, let's go make plays on the ball. If it's a running play, let's get ourselves around the ball with some physicality and, you know, and just track it everywhere, be really smart, you know, be savvy back there. We got a couple returning starters back there, so, you know, they need to take the next steps in their football IQ and their football knowledge and their physicality and getting around the ball.
I'm just curious, how different is it to coach a kicker, that mentality, versus linebacker, safety, you know, defensive players who have a different route approach?
I mean, it is different, but coaching to me is not, you can't coach all the safeties the same way. You can't coach all the linebackers the same way. So you need to adapt and understand how to coach each individual player. And that's why I love special teams. There's so many different players. It's like it keeps you on your toes all the time. You're always thinking, how do you coach this guy? How do you motivate this guy? What can this guy do right? So to me, it's like it's different, but it's not anything that much different than anything else. You know.
Kickers tend to be head Casey a little bit, though, right?
Now, I'll admit, I coach Quinn like I would coach a middle linebacker. You know, he's got that mentality, so he's an easy one there. You know, so but yeah, Quinn's a little different. You could throw him in at middle linebacker, and he's not going to back down. You know, I don't know if he'll get run over or not, but but he won't back down. So he's an easier one. But yeah, I mean, it's a different personality type that you coach, and but that's why we do it. It's fun to me. That's an exciting part.
Did you like I mean, with the haircut last year, the wild thing? Did you
I love
appreciate that?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, go be yourself. Go out there and be yourself. As long as it doesn't take away from your day-to-day grind, your performance. As long as it doesn't take away from that or your play on the field, go ahead, be yourself.
Rashawn made it sound like losing to Brandon Wimbush in high school is still a little bit of a sore spot. What do you remember about those battles?
Battles, man. What a great kid Wimbush is. Smart, competitor. I got to play him twice. Rashawn played him once. It was two unbelievable games. It's going to kind of go back and forth, and he's a guy who's going to come in. He's not going to back down. He's going to compete. He's gonna do stuff with his legs. He's got a strong arm. He's smart. He'll get them in the right positions. That's gonna be an exciting one for sure.
Was it true no one had sacked him that year until Rashawn got to him?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't really recall that much, but I know we stood up Rashawn a little bit and moved him around. I think he got a couple sacks on him. Yeah. That might be true. Yeah. I kind of vaguely remember something like that.
Did you know Rashawn probably needed contact lenses in high school?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He had these big goggles when he showed up, and yeah, he definitely did. But that should make him better too, getting those eyes right.
Donaldson in the spring, fastest defense that maybe he's been around. Are you seeing evidence of that?
Fastest special teams that we've been around too. Just explosive, can run, can bend, and guys that are we're fast for sure.
Is that a product of Ben, you think, of Herbert?
I mean, I would say, yeah. I mean, they're incredible, that staff. They've changed bodies. They put weight on, but kept guys speed up. Those guys, I can't say that. No, he just put me up a workout. I'm kind of fired up to follow it. So I went in the weight room 3 days ago, right after one of the practices, and he gave me one exercise, and I was sore for 3 days. So,
what was it?
He did like these iso, so there's this like row machine, right? And he gets on top of the row machine, takes all the weight off, he gets on top, he's like, watch this. So he's leaning his body right as I'm trying to do this thing and like screaming at me. And I probably did like twice as many reps as I could, and my lats were sore for like 3 days. So I went in there yesterday, I said, you gotta write me up something I can do after practice. He just put it on my desk. Probably be
like
sore.
Like a whole routine?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes, and then we gotta go watch tape. So, but it should be interesting. I'll try it. I'll do it.
Who were your 3 punters? You said you had 3.
I don't want to talk about individuals there. I think we got guys that are competing. We got so maybe a different guy that you'll see in there that maybe is unexpected. So I really don't want to throw names out right now. Yeah.
You got to do before and after photos, right, with the workout?
What's that? Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
two-
That's right. I'll do that. I'll do before and after. Let's see what he can really do. The ultimate test for him. Yeah, those guys are incredible, though. Really good.
What does Jalen Kelly Powell give you both on, at the safety position now that he's dedicated there as well as on special teams?
Smart. He can do a lot, and we put a lot on him for that reason. I just think having a utility guy that can play both safety spots, can play nickel, if anything ever happened, can go out and survive a corner, can do things on special teams that can fill into different spots for different injuries and things like that. It's just for a guy like that, it takes a little bit longer for him to get comfortable. Last year, he's doing all that stuff because he does it, but do you really do it well? He's taken that next step where now he's doing all that stuff, but he's doing it well. So he's kind of like the Swiss Army knife back there that can do that. And, as a coach, you want to make sure that you put him in the right position to succeed. And he's been there, too. He's a really good cover guy, really good inside cover guy. But he brings a lot to that room.
Coach Washington was talking about how Coach Brown can sometimes help him get focused or motivated or give perspective whenever he needs it.
Yeah.
Do you experience that as a coach from him?
Yeah, I mean, like for me and like Al, like if you really look at things, it's like if you made a Christmas list of what coaches you want to work around, we have that. I mean, it's Don Brown. I mean, I'm in the secondary with Mike Zordich and got Devin Bush in the room. It's like those guys have done it at the highest level. Coach Brown, can straighten you out in an instant, right? And he will straighten you out in an instant, coaches or players. But it's awesome. Got Coach Madison coaching the D-line, and it's really an unbelievable environment and experience. And it's hard as a young coach not to succeed and be great, because you watch these guys do it and how they've done it for years. It's like you just follow those guys and you'll be all right. So yeah, it's good. Coach Madison, Coach Zordis, Coach Brown, those guys, you know, every day, you know, they guide you, and you can ask them stuff, and they'll get you right. They'll get you focused.